The story never ends. I thought my life was empty till the Lord filled it.
I'm about to do this interview on KBUT, in a radio station on KBUT. And with Alan Smith, my name is Khari Martino, Khari Hatten. So get ready to hear some good informative stuff. Peace.
So guys, you're listening to 90.3 KBUT, Crested Butte, 88.7 Gunnison, 94.9 Almont, Jack's Cabin, and online at kbut.org. We're back for another week of the hashtag. I was out last week, so thank you to who filled in for me. Much appreciated. Tonight on the show, we do have our boy Dusty Morrow back from LA. What's going on, Big D-Money? Doing good. We got a big week. A lot of stuff to talk about. Also in the studio tonight, Khari. He is new in town, an awesome rapper. Khari, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening, man? I appreciate you having me on the show tonight.
Heck yeah. We're super stoked to have him. Later in the broadcast, Khari's going to talk a little bit about his story here in Crested Butte, his drive to play music, and I've seen him play open mic several times over at Piga's, and man, he really does a fantastic job. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow, Khari, you're from the Ohio area.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, let's talk a little bit about Ohio State football this year. What's going on? What we got? Urban Meyer got to bring his crew back?
I believe so. I mean, I haven't followed it as much as most of the diehard Ohio State fans in recent years, but growing up, I was always paying close attention to it. I was always a big fan. As a small point in my life that I wanted to actually play for Ohio State when I played football.
Yeah.
My freshman in high school, freshman and sophomore year in high school. But whether they had the bad years or good years, I'm always gonna be a big fan.
Sure.
Not only just because it's my hometown, my home state and everything, but just because I was a fan from the beginning.
Sure.
And that's where it comes from.
So, in the beginning, who were the players that you were following? Maurice Claret? That's
Off the top of my head, that's probably one of the only couple that I can probably remember right now.
Yeah.
Because like I said, at that time, I was into it, but not super deep into as much as some of the diehard fans. But I always supported.
Always supported Buckeyes.
Yes, sir.
The Buckeyes. Well, that's cool. Let's talk about near-death experiences. I know.
I got one, but y'all go first. It was probably funnier than mine, but yeah, go ahead.
I don't know, Dusty.
It wasn't really that funny that shit was there, but this was time. I think it was 2003. I think I was working for a wholesale company and was able to do some of our merchandising at night if we wanted to, because we can do it anywhere we wanted to, almost anywhere. Anyway, a few of us was in the car, and this car had brake problems. This was like a little cheap bucket of all buckets. There's three of us in this tiny little Toyota or something. Anyway, we had to use the emergency brake because the brakes kept going out. So the driver, not the driver, but me and the other guy, we had been drinking, so it was like finishing up. It was in the back seat and the passenger seat. I'm not gonna say their names because they probably want me to say their names, but we're still good friends to this day. But because of what was under the influence, I'm not gonna say their names, but or the name of the company I was with. But it was like going on this turn, and I guess the road didn't have any curves in the area, and it was so dark, and we was so tired. Not the driver, but me and the other guy. We was already kind of drunk, or whatever. So the brakes went out. Emergency brake kind of slid, and as we was turning the corner kind of fast, we almost went off the edge of a cliff. Now, we was in Hawaii, and all we saw was bushes here, and when the car tipped over to the edge of the cliff, bushes kind of separated. All I could see was city lights below us from the other part of the island, and the front two tires kind of went to the edge of the cliff. It was like, we could hear them spinning. It was like, oh! At that time, I was feeling some kind of way that night, where I was thinking well, this is how it's going to end. This is it. And I was thinking that with a smile on my face, and for some reason, after that, we got out, pulled the car back, and we laughed so hard the rest of that night on the way back home. I think it's one of the few moments in life where I almost every bone in my body hurt from laughing so hard that much, because we knew that we wasn't gonna die, but kind of felt like it for the second, and we knew the bad condition the car was in, the way it was sliding off. We pictured it from an outside point of view, almost like a cartoon or something. And me and my sense of humor, I thought it was one of the most hilarious moments of my life, knowing that nothing did happen to us. And part of me also felt that I knew that. Not to get too religious on anybody, make offend anybody, but I'm afraid to say this. I knew that guy had my back. I felt something that night. I felt that I was protected. And from then on, certain types of fears don't bother me. there's been times where there's twice in my life where I fell out of a moving car once.
Oh
for
my
no
God.
reason. I did it once in Thailand. I did it once in Ohio. Some people know about that story, but it wasn't fatal. I didn't get hurt. And it's been a few other things, just like less. But that took away a lot of my fear. Just because my spirit, my faith kept me really strong. It just kept my mind like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be okay. And that's like my really only near-death experience I can really think of.
For mine, it was we were going. My buddy had a river house at a state river in South Carolina, and we liked to wakeboard. Me and my buddy did.
Nice.
Getting into wakeboarding, and monster I was doing. Pro wakeboarder, 4 years in a row.
Really?
No. I'm kidding. Absolutely.
Have you
not.
going for a second?
No.
Sounded like word? Okay.
I said, there's no party at my house tonight, Dusty. No, sir.
That's not. I do this all day.
So, me and my buddy, we head out to the Edison River with this small john boat. With this small john boat, the wake is really, really small, first off. Second of all, I have a buddy who's super light driving the boat. And typically when you have a small john boat and you're going to pull a wakeboard, you're going to want somebody in the front of it just to keep the front of the boat down.
Okay.
And so we go out to the Edison River. And I'm going first. I was like, all right, I'll go first. So I get up and I'm like, man, it's working. But you can see Richard Spiker was driving the boat, Dusty. And yeah, he was super skinny, super light.
Is he pounds of dog ears?
Yeah. And funny thing was, I was like carving outside. I just kind of started yanking on the rope just to get some more torque so I could go back into the wake and jump.
Right.
Next thing I know, I go around to the other side of the wake and I yank as hard as you can yank just to like get some turn in. And all of a sudden I look up, Richard's hands on like the rudder of the motor, and it's just wobbling.
Oh.
It's just wobbling. And then all of a sudden he starts wobbling. So it's like he doesn't control that motor anymore. It's the motor controls Richard now.
Wow.
And so all of a sudden he goes flying out the back of the boat.
Oh.
And we're on the Edison River and that boat starts coming right at me.
Oh man.
And I'm in my dang wakeboard, I'm sorry, out there. And all of a sudden it's getting closer to me. Richard jumps up from his like knocked out of the boat, grabs onto the boat. The boat's doing circles. It's doing complete circles. There's nobody in the boat. The kill switch hasn't died, and every time he's going to say, Alan, Alan.
The foreground, background, Alan.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die. Oh yeah. It was just going in circles, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm literally about to die. Luckily, the thing just finally turned off because nobody was holding the gas down, and some neighbors saw us, and they went over to Joel's, or my friend's house, and was like, "Who is that riding the boat down there? Because they're fixing to die."
He's able to keep control of all the bodily functions and all that.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, the water. I can't believe the boat didn't even sink. It was full of water.
Wow.
I thought I was dying. I thought that was the end of my life. And Rich will tell you the story. He'll be like, yeah, I thought I was going to die too. So that's my near. Mike Tyson punch you right in the nose.
Yeah, it's at the moment you feel like I just want to like pass out the last second, so I'm feeling pain, make it short, sweet, and quick. Like I kind of feel that.
Oh man.
Hear the music and everything.
He was ready. He was ready to eat your face off.
It's kind of like a nervousness.
Yeah, it's eerie. It's like an eerie comment because you're like, well, all right, I guess this is how it's gonna be. This is how it's gonna be. But I don't know, like, I had that bear come through my tent, and I was a little scared, but you know what? I was like, what's this thing going? I mean, is it? I don't think it's first off gonna come after me. If it does, well, then this is gonna be it.
Because there's not much you can do about it. It's like you kind of accept it, but you don't. So make sure that accepting it and fear at the same time kind of paralyzes you, and it's hard to put into words unless you actually were in that experience. Yeah. Right.
So what would you do if that bear, if you were, let's see.
Probably had extra sauce on it too, huh?
It's. Hit it in the nose. Just give it a pop, pop.
Oh! Double integer. You know how like a flashlight and a cell phone up in your face, like on some Blair Witch type business? It's not what was coming out.
Oh my gosh, Blair Witch Project. Good gosh, take me there. That was a scary. Well, guys, we listen to KBUT Crested Butte and KG and I Gunnison. We're gonna take a little short break here, play some more tunes before you come back, wrap the show up. We're having a great night.
Yes, sir.
Khari's having a blast. Glad to get him in here. Dusty in LA is just slaying dragons left and right. This is what he does. It's part of life.
And next time you can have it on a Skype screen, so you see you slaying on dragons.
Yeah. We get you on live.
One of us has an alter ego, there is. He's just being very quiet.
That's right. So guys, stay tuned. We're gonna go to some more tunes, and we'll see you soon. This one is called Wildfire. Tell me a little bit about Family Matters.
Yeah.
He loves Merkel. Oh yeah.
Remember when he made a clone machine? Remember when he made that clone machine? It was both at the same time. One was in Paris and one was in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Boss sauce. That one boring. I think my favorite episode was a pivotal episode. Well, I think it was one of the last.
One of
the last episodes was like, so with Steve. I think Steve and Laura went to a prom or something, and Steve's voice started to get a little bit deeper. And it was the first time and only time when Laura actually started to feel for Steve, and she kissed him. Like she actually started to develop feelings for him. Because they walked in and there's another nerdier girl in there and she was like causing accidents, and then like all of a sudden she started kind of feelings for him. Then they actually connected. They actually kissed for real on that episode. And I don't know if that's the last one, but it was the last one of a certain season before like they started the last couple seasons, whatever. The episode like changed a lot. It was like a changing of the guards for all those characters in that show. And before like he did the cloning where Stefan went to Paris, then he went with Laura, and Steve stayed in Chicago, and he stayed with Myra. That's how it just ended up. But that episode meant a lot to me because I used to be like geeky, nerdy type kid up until like maybe last year of high school. I started to come out of my shell. I was that guy in a sense, bad fashion, clumsy, couldn't talk to women, goofy looking, all that. Some of that stood with me, but I did a 180 since then, so I kind of related to that a little bit. Because actually, it was somebody I actually started to date a little bit my senior year, and she dumped me for somebody else in the same week. But for the moment, I felt like the man.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I loved.
Oh my goodness. Take right there. House choir song.
There it is, guys. Full House. Y'all remember this theme song?
I remember.
Let's compare theme songs real quick. Let's do a little Fresh Prince theme song.
You got the full version? Like, they used to do the full version the first couple seasons. They played the full version of the song. They cut it out a little bit later on. But it was a full song at one point.
Let's see.
Everybody knows this song.
Everybody loves this song.
I'm not even gonna sing along with it because everybody knows this. I think so. But this opening montage was what got me into start drawing graffiti, trying to learn how to draw graffiti. And I practiced that a lot and developed my own style, and it turned into something else. But like just watching that opening montage, even after watching all the hip hop movies that came out around the time before then, they had a lot of that. For some reason, this opening montage made me want to just try to imitate that for some reason.
Dude, the show lasted 6 years, started in 1990 and ended in 96.
Yeah, it had a good run.
It's like great.
One of my favorites.
Ned. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We've got a special treat in the house tonight. We've got Khari.
How's everybody doing out there?
It's Khari Martino, correct?
That's my stage name. My real name is Khari Hatten. So Khari Martino is why I perform under.
Cool. And Khari's a new resident here in Crested Butte, and I've caught him at open mic a few times, and it's really inspirational. It's really cool to see him come out and do something different here in Crested Butte. So Khari, tell us a little bit what brought you out here.
Well, I was living in Hawaii for 15 years before I came out here, and during the last couple of years that I was in Hawaii, I started to feel like I kind of ran its course. Like I needed somewhere else to go, somewhere a little more affordable for me as far as living goes. Because nevertheless, I did love Hawaii. I loved it a lot, but it just started to become more of a struggle for me than it should have been. And I was looking for somewhere else to go, closer to family, looking for a better job opportunity than what I was, I wouldn't say affordable, what I was trying to make happen out there. And I was trying to get out of the situation that I was in that I was very unhappy with as far as like the relationship I was in, or just my whole living arrangement and things, the way that I was going, it started to go kind of sour. So I was working for a small amount of time. I was working with a chef out there at a restaurant named Tyler Newell, and he eventually ended up moving out here. And when during the last little bit of 2014, he heard I was coming out wanted to leave Hawaii. So out of all the options I had, he had a nice job offer for me, a very nice one, where it seemed like it was everything that I wanted, plus it was closer to home, which I really wanted to go and visit home. So I would have been dumb not to hop on an opportunity. So I did. I came out here and moved out to Denver for 2 months before, and then May 21st, I believe it was, hopped in the car, drove out to Crested Butte, started working as a chef at the club. I was working with him, along with my executive chef, Ben Breslauer. A lot of people probably know him. Anyway, I've just been loving it since I've been out here. It's been everything I expected and more, as far as with the job, meeting people. Everybody's been so welcoming, and the vibe has just been so warm. I've been happy nonstop. I just appreciate the hospitality I've been receiving, just from the local people and people that I've talked to recently.
So tell us a little about your music. I know I've seen you at open mic several times. Tell me a little bit about what inspires your music and how you really got involved with your rapping R&B career, and tell us a little about that musical career and how what you're doing with that.
Well, I've always been inspired through life experiences. My mother, she was really big into music. She played the clarinet and the piano, so I was always immersed in that. She introduced me to jazz as a young age, and I was always listening to jazz around the house, and I was a fan of it. Even before I was like really a fan of hip hop, back when hip hop was budding in its early time, I liked it a little bit then, but I was exposed to all forms of music. And I played in the band in my 5th and 6th grade, played the trumpet. That was my first introduction into learning an instrument. And I just caught the bug from there. I fell in love with it. And I didn't really start like writing anything as far as hip hop or anything until maybe like my junior year of high school. I was just playing around writing lyrics, not really knowing exactly how to do it, but I knew I wanted to try to get something out there. Then a friend of mine, Jaron George, back when I was in Ohio, he went to school for international for music production and engineering, and he has a little bit of studio time every now and then, so we'd go in there and we mess around, do a couple songs. I was green back then, didn't really know how to do it, but I was learning as I was going along. So fresh out of high school, I went and enlisted in the Marine Corps, and that brought me to Hawaii. My first duty station was in Hawaii, and when I was there, I enlisted as a cook, because I always had a passion for cooking, which I still do today, but music was always been my first love. There's always something about the way it made you feel, the message you came across. That's why they call it universal language, because any kind of music anywhere, people want to vibe to it if they like it. And it brings people together, all cultures, everything. So anyway, I started taking writing a little more seriously. Things I started having more life experiences, things to talk about. I was surrounded by people who had great talent and they was really good at writing music and performing. So I was soaking all that up. Not to mention listening to a lot of my favorite artists, whether it be hip hop, R&B, jazz, a little bit of soul. I was always a big fan of Ice Brothers. As far as hip hop goes, DJ Quick, AZ, Nas, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Just a whole lot of people. So as I was taking all that in and all the life experience I was having while I was in the service and being in Hawaii for the first time, at a young age, 18, 19, on my own for the first time, everything, having a whole lot of firsts going on in my life. And I was taking all that in, so I was writing more and just starting to get more serious, learning more how to do it. And after I did my time in the Marine Corps, I just decided to stay in Hawaii because I just fell in love with the state so much. So, of course, my name, like I said, Khari Hatten, but Martino came from a friend of mine in the service who used to want to be a playwright, and he based a lot of characters in his plays off his friends' personalities, and the character was based off of me. His name was Martino. So just playing around, I ran with that. I kept putting Martino in my rhymes all the time, in my raps, and when I started getting into the workforce as a civilian, I was introducing myself to people as Martino. Of course, they knew my first name, Khari, but I was Khari Martino. A lot of people like this, so I just stuck with it.
Tell me a little bit, Khari, your music, and what's the message behind the music that you play?
Okay, well, the message behind the music I play is primarily positive. I speak about things that I've been through and that I like to do and that I would want to go through. And I want to inspire people through stories that I tell, because I tell a lot of stories about my life and people around me that kind of uplift me. I want to uplift other people who may be going through things that I have been through before or who are going through things I'm going through now. I'd rather help. I like to see if I can touch other artists and fans of music, not just hip hop, but all genres of music along. If you're a fan of anything that moves you, any kind of art, that I want to touch you in a way that will help uplift you. And that's what Infinite Ambition is all about, which I'll get into in a minute. But I don't want to talk about anything that in my music that I haven't been through or that I don't know about. Because people that know me, that's known me for years when I was a kid or anything like that, they're going to know that it's not real. They're not going to support me. They'll support me if they know, if they can relate to what I was talking about. Or they know like, okay, yeah, I remember him saying this or doing that, whatever. And so it's mostly fun and just fun music. And it varies. My music varies in styles. Like not just one specific, I can't say like I have one specific rap style. It changes depending on the beat, depending on the mood, depending on who I want to hear it. But it's always going to be real though. It's always going to be a piece of me, a piece of my personality. People that get to know me and know me for a long time know that. So yeah, I just want to make sure people have fun, and I want the audience to just feel what I'm feeling. When I wrote the song, I want them to feel that at that moment, whether it be 5 people, 500 people, I performed in front of all sizes of crowds. So I just want to portray that energy into them, just make people have a good time. That's what I'm doing.
Tell me about this, Khari. Here in Crested Butte, we don't have a lot of rapping.
Right.
And what has that been like when you came to compete as a Paradise?
Right.
And you put in your body to get your music playing so you can rap over it. What has that experience been like, just from a musician standpoint, when you know that what you're about to do is so different than what probably the people in the entire audience have even heard? Right. What's that like?
I'm glad you asked me that, because nobody's ever asked me that before, and that's something that I've always wanted to talk about, but I never knew exactly how to just express it without sounding a certain way. So I think this is a perfect time for me to say that. Before I came out here, I already knew that there probably was like very, very small, slim to none hip-hop scene out here, but I know that there are hip-hop fans all over the globe, no matter where you go. It may not be known, but people do like it. If it's good, somebody's gonna like it. So I figured my mission wasn't to come here and try to become a star of hip hop in Crested Butte. I can do that. There's many other cities I'm pretty sure you can name off the top of your head that I could probably do that at. But the reason I still do it here because it's just a big passion of mine, it's a big love of mine, a big thing of music. And I have other goals that I want to accomplish while I'm here. But I figure I'm gonna still have fun, still continue to do music. Because if I continue to do it, I'm just gonna get better. If I stop doing it, I'm gonna not progress at it. So I was looking for places that host open mic or any kind of showcase, whatever, knowing that there isn't that much hip hop here. I can come here and do something that's not gonna make me or the culture look bad, but do something in a positive way, in a fun way, and try to perform the type of music that I feel that can relate to the people here that may have not either not heard it or heard a little bit and be small fans or be like, okay, or whatever. So my mission is not to look bad. So I'll go to Peter's in Paradise, you know, small venue, nice intimate setting, Mediterranean cafe, food style, and first of all, I love the food there, by the way. I just had to put that out there. But I also want to give a big shout out to Shannon for letting me give me an opportunity to perform there. It's a great person. So I select every week, okay, what songs am I going to do? I don't do anything too crazy. Do something simple but not boring. Do something that people can understand that may not be huge hip hop fans, but that still be kind of exciting. Because out of all the other acts that's going to be there, I know I'm going to stand out a lot. So if I'm going to stand out, I'm going to stand out in a good way and just try to put myself out there in a positive way, in a feel-good way. Get people to get to know me through my music or just personal conversation. I'm easy, I'm approachable, I'm very open-minded. I can talk to anybody about anything. I've made a lot of friends that way because of that. So I was thinking, okay, I got 6.5 albums worth of songs, but I only have a small handful of songs where I feel comfortable doing that I know that people will accept and gravitate to, and gradually move into something a little more outside the box if I can tell the feeling it. That's the thing, you gotta feel your audience. You gotta know your demographic where you are. And so lately, I feel like I've been accomplishing that, and I've been receiving good reviews about what I've been doing. I'm gonna continue to do it. I'm gonna continue to put out different songs, new songs. I'm trying to do collaborations with a lot of artists who play guitar, ukulele. My man Alex Smith right here. We did something last week at the Red Room, which was great. It was so fun. It was a great organic experience, man. And we're gonna work on some more future projects together. We're planning on doing an actual song together. So that's what I want to do. Is want to mix it up a little bit and just get everybody together and get more people out there. It's a beautiful thing, man. I love it.
You know, I love your Facebook, by the way. I think that's.
Try to keep it interesting.
Dusty, you still with us?
Dusty,
Dusty,
what's up?
Live. Who are some of your favorite artists? Just your people that you love to read their Facebook comments. You ever see any artists out there just having great Facebook comments?
Wow.
You never let it out now.
I love when people always have something funny to post, like a funny story, or like they got some funny videos, or just like updates on something interesting that's not a part of every run-of-the-mill, all day, every day, same things. And that's how most of my friends are. Whether I've met them in person or not, it's just how they are. We keep a strong base because of that. Not just a fan base of music, but just a personal fan base, fans of each other.
Yeah. Now, Khari, I know you've put, I've seen you talk about Shredder Compton on your Facebook a lot.
Right.
And you did recently see it.
Twice.
He saw it twice. Tell me a little. Yeah, Dusty is such a huge fan. So I'm sure y'all.
Yeah. That's the thing I love. I love biopics, man. Now, what genre of music is, or even if it's like not music, just biopics is like one of my favorite types of movies next to comedies and thrillers, because it tells a real story and it gets you involved in somebody's background, whether you didn't know about it or not. Granted, Straight Outta Compton, I loved it. It did leave a few parts of the story out that me and many other people believe it should have been in there, but still, it was a great story. It told it to the people who may not know who NWA is or may not know that much about it. It let them know what was going on and what went on, why they put out the music that they put out. What went on in their neighborhoods and their upbringing, why it was the way it was. It wasn't always. It was bad as a lot of people perceived it as. There was a reason for that though. Same thing with other genres. Like until you completely understand why they say certain acts will say the way they say it, get into their history first. Get into what inspired them to write or produce that. And I had a feeling it'd be great because knowing this directed by Gary Gray, he has a big history of great movies. And then you got Set It Off, Friday, many others I can't name off the top of my head, but it's good at doing those like storytelling type of movies. And I think the characters were portrayed the way they should have been. I believe it was the cinematography was great. The music was great because they performed the actors actually performed that music to the point where sometimes you didn't know whether it was the original song playing or it was the actors performing it. That's the thing that got me into it. I mean, after I saw that, I went home, started up my studio, turned on my studio on and just recorded some freestyles just for the heck of it. Just because I just didn't want to go to sleep. Same way I felt when I saw Notorious. I went home, turned my microphone on, hooked everything up, just started going at it.
It's the way I felt when I watched Walk the Line.
Yes, I love Walk the Line. I love that movie.
Reese Witherspoon, she was my inspiration. So, great actress, beautiful person.
Joaquin Phoenix did it. Yep. Right. Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah, the street recorders, definitely, and right in the middle of it. Yeah. Right, because a lot of them don't end happy or sad. Yeah. Yeah, well, I've seen a lot of documentaries on that group, and documentaries on LA, and documentaries on the Raiders, and documentaries on the riots at the time, and things that was going on. And it amazed me how he was able to fit so much of that into the film. I know I mentioned before he left a lot of the scene parts out, but you can't always fit everything within that time frame you got to make a movie. Yeah, so like that's why it really is. That's why my hats off to like producers and directors and the writers for putting that together. Not just that movie, but other favorite biopics too that make that happen because it's a true really big art form. It's really is art. Yeah. 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 Right. There's a lot of hidden stuff in that movie too that unless you really knew their stories, you don't really pick up on it unless like you was with somebody new. Hey, remember this part? Hey, you know this part? Hey, check this out. Or if you go back and when the DVD, Blu-ray comes out, which I'm definitely going to get, probably going to highlight all the extra stuff, which I'm a fan of the special features. Probably I'm looking forward to seeing that. The interviews, I'm watching like cast interviews and stuff on YouTube and all that. So I like watching that behind the scenes stuff. I'm all about that. TV shows, movies.
Oh, I love behind the scenes, that bonus feature.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, talk with Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm. Director commentary and all that.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in tonight to KBUT Community Radio. It's been awesome having Khari on the line and Dusty calling in. We just had a blast tonight. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being with us. Can I say social media?
I will
No.
never let you
Coming up next, it would be BBC World News from 12:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. and then from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. is the Pure Morning Edition Thursday morning. It's a variety show. Angie Cornbrook, Touch Me in the Morning. If you want to see Khari, go out to open mic night. Typically on Monday nights, he's there. He's rocking. Tomorrow night, actually, we're going to be playing over at the Red Room. So it's going to be exciting to see him.
Alan and Friends.
Perform. Alan and Friends is going to be fun. And Khari will tell you about where you can find some of his music. Tell me a little bit about where you can find your music.
Okay, just real quick. Most people that know me already know this. Just in case you don't, my name is Khari Martino. Datpiff.com, same name. Instagram, same name. Twitter, same name. SoundCloud, SoundClick. Of course, Facebook and YouTube, all my music videos are there, and other random songs I've done with me, myself, and other artists. And that's pretty much it. Pretty soon on iTunes, like I said, that's it though. You know what? Same name, same scope, same way. Hope to see you there.
Yeah, we'll definitely see you tomorrow night. It'll be fun over at the Red Room.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of fun. It's just a good night. So, Dusty, any final words? Oh, it's right. We got a big game tomorrow, so stay tuned. 4 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. It's time to play the North Carolina Tar Heels. So,
Appreciate your support. Yep.
y'all have a good night. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Good night.
Hypnotic. 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 Hypnotic, fresh and funky. This beat has totally got me. My body's